I'm going to be remaking Minecraft mobs into Skibidi Toilet. The first character I'll make is the Titan cameraman, and I'm gonna use the warden to make him. First, I'm gonna give him a leg from the cameraman we made last time, and then I'm just gonna remove all this stuff that we don't need. Now let's copy his leg over to the other side, and we'll just shape his body to match his legs a little bit more. Now let's just change the shape of his legs a little bit, and I'm gonna color in his pants and shirt black for now. The Titan cameraman's arms obviously aren't this big, so let's give him some new arms, and let's just give him some fingers as well. Now let's just copy this thing over to the other side, and now we can work on adding his head. First, let's start to make the main camera like this, and we'll give him a little lens in the middle as well. And now let's just add some detail to the side like this, and we'll also put some of those things sticking up on the top as well, and I think that looks pretty good. Now let's start to give him some more detail. First, I'm gonna give him a belt like this, and then I'm gonna add his coat that he's wearing right here, and of course we're gonna give him his core in the middle as well. And now let's just add these things that he has on his back, and I'm also gonna add some texture to him like this, and I think he looks pretty good. Let's add him to the game. This is the Titan cameraman in game. He actually looks really good. Look at him hard at work, recording everything in sight. The Titan cameraman is really strong, and he is able to destroy the G-Man toilet. Well, sometimes, and sometimes he just decides to not hit him. I guess he's just being fair. The Titan cameraman also has a ranged attack, but for some reason he only uses it when he's already meleeing, which makes no sense. But I'm not fixing it, because it would probably make him way too OP. Subscriber, the Titan cameraman will mistaken you for a toilet. If you do kill the Titan cameraman, he drops a spyglass, which is probably the closest thing to a camera in Minecraft. It's a lot better than a command block at least. I'm going to give the Titan cameraman an 8 out of 10. He looks pretty good, but his fighting isn't the best. Now that we've made all the Titans, it's time to upgrade them. So next I'm gonna make the upgraded Titan speaker man. Let's take the Titan speaker man that we made last time, and we'll start by expanding his arms out and getting rid of his belt. Next I'm gonna add these things that attach to his speakers like this, and we'll just do the same thing on the other side as well. The upgraded Titan speaker man has a bright red eye, so I'm going to add that as well, and we'll also make his core the same color so it looks a bit brighter. Now let's just copy his plasma blaster over to his other arm as well, and next I'm going to add these shields that he has over his ankles. The upgraded Titan speaker man also has some speakers on his chest, so I'm gonna add those right here, and now I'm just gonna add these antenna shaped things on the top of his head. Finally, I want to give the Titan speaker man a jetpack, so let's just add a cube like this, and I'm gonna add a bunch of smaller cubes as well, and I think this looks really good. Let's add him to the game. This is the upgraded Titan speaker man in game. This guy is actually massive. He's also moving really fast, and I'm not quite sure how that happened. The upgraded Titan speaker man is pretty much the same as the regular Titan, except he's way more powerful. Well, he isn't actually that much more powerful. He just shoots faster. If you kill an upgraded Titan speaker man, he drops a pig step music disc, and I'm not really sure why. I just picked a random music disc for him to drop, and that was the one. But I don't think you're gonna kill this guy, because he has way too much health. I think I'm going to give the upgraded Titan speaker man a 9 out of 10. I honestly really like how he looks in game. Next, I'm going to make Cinema Man, and I'm gonna start by using the Titan TV man from last video. First, let's make his body a little bit wider like this, and next I'm gonna give him a new and improved jacket. Now let's just color his pants a bit darker, and we'll also make his head a little bit wider as well. I'm also going to lift up his head a little bit and give him a neck, and now it's time to start adding the speakers on his body. I'm going to start by making the helicopter speakers first. So let's just draw in a helicopter blade like this, and we're gonna copy this to the other side so he has one on each shoulder. Now it's time to give him the massive speaker on his chest. So first I'm gonna make a black box like this, and then I'm gonna copy the speaker part 9 times to match the actual speaker. Now let's just change up his coat a little bit more, and we'll add these things that he has on the side of his arms like this, and finally I'm going to give him a jetpack on his back. And that's the Cinema Man complete. Let's see him in the game. This is how Cinema Man looks in game. He looks way better than the regular Titan TV man. Oh yeah, he also does the face thing. I forgot about that. I ended up nerfing the Cinema Man's damage because the Titan TV man was way too OP, and now he's just a little bit better than the G-Man toilet. Well, that is if they hit each other, of course. I also fixed the Cinema Man's walk animation so it doesn't look weird like the Titan TV man did. And overall, the Cinema Man is just an upgraded version of the Titan TV man, because that's what he's supposed to be. Oh wait, I just noticed there's a couple bites taken out of the back of his head. I'm not really sure how that got there. Other than that, I think the Cinema Man turned out pretty good, so I'm going to give him an 8 out of 10. Next, I'm gonna make the upgraded Titan cameraman. So let's just take the Titan cameraman that we made earlier, and the first thing we'll do is make his arms a little bit bigger. Now let's change his jacket a bit and make it go all the way down to the middle of his legs, and next we'll add the shields that he has around his knees. Now let's add the thing that goes around his core right here, and we'll also add this gray piece which might be from his shirt. I'm not even sure. Next, we'll give him some slightly different looking hands like this, and now it's time to add some details to his head and shoulders. First, we'll add the cannons that he has on his back like this, and next let's add some of the upgrades that he has on his cameras up here. I'm also gonna add the red light on the very top as well. And next I'm gonna give him a jetpack, so let's make the first part of it like this. And we'll just rotate these parts out a little bit, and we'll also add some blue ones as well. And finally, let's add a little bit more texture to him. And I think he's looking good. Let's add him to the game. This is how the upgraded Titan cameraman looks in game. This guy actually looks really good. I will say there's a little bit of a problem on the back of his arm though, but you can barely notice it. The Titan cameraman is able to fly, which I thought was a good idea, but I think he's going a little too high up. Okay, I stopped him from being able to fly, and now he's a lot better. The upgraded Titan cameraman is a little bit stronger than the regular Titan cameraman, and this time his ranged attack actually works. He also has a thumbs up animation just like the regular cameraman, but this time I actually gave him a thumb so it isn't mistaken for anything else. The upgraded Titan cameraman is fire resistant just like in the actual series, and if you do kill him, he drops the same thing as the regular Titan cameraman because I'm on original. Overall, I think the upgraded Titan cameraman turned out really good, so I'm going to give him a 9 out of 10. Now that we have all these upgraded Titans, they need some competition, so next I'll make the upgraded scientist toilet. And I'm gonna use a skeleton for him because he looks really old. So let's just remove his whole body because we'll only need his head. And I'm just gonna copy the toilet that we used for the G-Man onto him like this. Let's just get rid of all the G-Man upgrades, and we'll color the toilet a light brownish color just like we did for the G-Man. Now let's give him some toilet water so you can't see into the bowl. And we're going to give him a neck like this. The scientist toilet seems to be wearing glasses, so let's just give him some of those. And we'll also put the red spot that he has on the left part of the glasses as well. The scientist toilet is wearing the upgrades that Cinema Man used to have on him, so we're going to add those next. First I copied the main speaker from Cinema Man and put it on the front like this, and then I copied the 2 helicopter speakers and put them on each side as well. Next we'll just make the back part of the toilet a little bit bigger as it's kind of small right now. And I'm just gonna add these gray things that he has on his back as well. Alright, now we need to give the scientist toilet his arms, so I'm going to start making an arm like this, and I'm actually gonna color this lighter gray, it's too dark. Now let's copy this arm onto the other side, and I'm just gonna rotate the arm like this to make it look a little bit nicer. Now finally I'm gonna add this light thing on the side of his head right here, and I think that looks pretty good. Let's see how he looks in game. This is the upgraded scientist toilet in game. This guy is by far the biggest mob we've made. And he's not just the biggest mob, but he's also one of the coolest, as he's able to hover on the ground instead of walking. The upgraded scientist toilet is insanely powerful. This is what he does to a regular Titan speaker man. He literally didn't even have a chance. Now let's try the upgraded Titan speaker man. That wasn't much better. It's probably going to take a combined attempt from all the Titans to take this guy out. Come on Titans, you can do it. Okay, good. They managed to kill him. If they didn't, he would have been way too OP. I also made the scientist toilet drop a brewing stand when you kill him because that's science, I guess. I don't really know. And if you look closely, you can see that he shoots through the red part of his glasses because I'm pretty sure he's supposed to do that. I'm going to give the upgraded scientist toilet a 10 out of 10. I'm pretty sure this is my new favorite mob so far. He looks really good. Next, I'm gonna make the parasitic Skibidi toilet. And I'll use a silverfish because that's the closest thing to a parasite. First, let's get rid of all this stuff. And we'll just start to make the shape of a toilet like this. Now let's color the toilet a backroomsy looking color. And we'll add this rectangle part that comes up from the back. Actually, I'm gonna change the color a bit. It's way too yellow. Next, I'm gonna add a long neck for the head like this. And now we're just gonna give him a villager head just like the regular toilet. Next, let's change his face a little bit to make him look more like the parasite toilet. And let's add the little pipe thingy on the top of the toilet like this. Now it's time to start adding some texture all around the toilet like this. And now let's start to give him some legs. And we'll copy these legs over to the other side like this. And now let's just rotate them a bit so they point more outwards. And I think that's a pretty good parasite toilet. Let's add him to the game. This is how the parasite toilet looks in game. This guy is way too tiny. And because he's so small, he's also really fast, which makes him kind of scary to get chased by. There are 2 sizes of parasite toilets, small and large. And I know the large one is supposed to look different, I just didn't feel like making the other version. If a large parasite toilet bites a Titan speaker man, he will turn infected, and if a small parasite toilet bites a cameraman, it will infect him as well. I also added an infected version of the upgraded Titan speaker man, but there's a very small chance that he gets bit before killing the parasite. The parasite toilets are also able to be deployed by the upgraded scientist toilet, which I actually think is a pretty cool way for them to spawn. Overall, the parasite toilet turned out pretty good other than this weird spot on the side that I'm not sure how to fix, so I'm gonna give it an 8 out of 10. Next, I'll make a regular speaker man. And I'm gonna use a Vex to make him because that's a villager hating mob. First, let's take a leg from the cameraman like this, and we'll just move these body parts for now because they are definitely in the wrong place. Next, let's color the speaker man's pants a light gray like this, and now it's time to add his body. First, let's expand the body out to make it a lot bigger like this, and then we'll start to give him some arms as well. Now let's also give him some fingers at the bottom of his arms, and now we'll just color all of this in for now. I'm gonna add the speaker man's jacket it next, so let's work on that. And now it's time to give him a head. We'll start by giving him a neck first so his speaker isn't floating. And now we'll shape the head into a speaker. And let's just color the speaker a little bit darker than his suit. And we're gonna give him the actual speaker part in the middle like this. Okay, now that we have a speaker head, let's give him some headphones. And let's also put the headphone band at the top like this. And now I'm gonna give him some extra texture all around his suit like this. And I'm also gonna give him a tie and a belt on his shirt. Alright, I think this guy looks pretty good. It's time to add him to the game. This is our speaker man in game. He definitely looks a lot better than I expected. Okay, what is up with all the speaker men being so fast? I swear I don't know how this is happening. The regular speaker man is the same strength level as a regular cameraman, which means the only thing he can really kill is the regular toilet. But the speaker man doesn't actually kill the Skibidi toilets. Instead, he just sits on top of them, just like in the actual series. It is kind of weird though, because the head doesn't disappear. The regular speaker man is also able to do the speaker man dance if you right click him, and this is probably one of my favorite features I've made so far. It looks so funny. If you kill a speaker man, he drops a jukebox, which pairs really well with the pig step disc from earlier, or you can use it to play my favorite music disc, which drops from the infected upgraded Titan speaker man as well. Overall, I think the speaker man is one of my favorite mobs so far, so I'm gonna give him a 10 out of 10 as well. The dance is just too good. Next, I'll make a large speaker man, and since I used a Vex for a small speaker man, I'm gonna use an evoker for the big one. First, let's delete all this stuff, and next I'm gonna use the regular speaker man's leg, but I'm just gonna make it bigger. Now let's copy the leg over to the other side, and we'll just shape his body so it fits his legs. Now let's color his legs black for now, and we'll color in his white shirt on the top as well. Okay, now that's looking pretty good. Let's start to give him some arms, and we'll just copy this over to the other side. Now let's color the arms the same color as his shirt, and we're going to give him some long fingers as well. And now it's time to add his head. So let's just color the speaker in dark black, and we'll add the first speaker part in the bottom middle like this. And let's just add a few more of these and also color around them a bit. And now it's time to add a few more details like this belt down here, and we're also going to give him some texture as well. And I think that looks really good. Let's see him in game. This is the large speaker man in game. He is definitely a lot larger than a regular speaker man. And just like the regular speaker man, you can make this guy dance as well, although it looks kind of broken because I just copied it from the original speaker man. The large speaker man is a lot more powerful than a regular speaker man by far. He is actually so powerful that he's able to one-shot himself with his own attack. I also made it so his attack animation looks kind of like a punch because it was supposed to be for his melee attack. The only problem is that he only uses his ranged attack, so it's useless. If a large speaker man dies, he drops a cat music disc because some of the other ones drop music discs, so I decided to just do that. And honestly, that's all there really is. He's just a large version of the speaker man. I think I'm gonna give the large speaker man a 9 out of 10. I like how he looks, but I don't think he's better than the regular speaker man. Next, I'm gonna make a large cameraman, and I'm gonna use a pillager because we haven't used that yet. So let's just remove a few of the things we don't need, and I'm mainly gonna use the same body as the large speaker man, so let's add the legs first, and we'll just color them in all black like this. And now let's copy over the large speaker man's body, and we'll just color this black for now as well. And now let's just copy over the arms from the large speaker man as well, and we'll color these in just like we colored in the other parts before. Alright, now it's time to turn this head into a camera. So first we're gonna make the lens part of the camera like this, and we'll add the film part coming off the back like this. And now let's just add a few more details, and we'll color the front part of the camera black, and now let's color the back part a similar color, and we're gonna color the film a lighter gray so it stands out. And now that looks pretty good. So next we need to add the detail to his shirt. I'm gonna start by adding a tie like this, and then I'm gonna add a coat on the top because all the cameramen wear these long coats. And now I'm just gonna add a bit of texture around his body like this, and I think that looks good. Let's see how he looks in game. This is the large cameraman in game. He kind of reminds me of the large speaker man. I won't lie, his legs going through his coat like this looks kind of weird, but other than that, he looks pretty good. I also made the large cameraman noticeably shorter than the large speaker man because he's supposed to be the shortest out of the large variants. The large cameraman has more health and does more damage than a regular cameraman, but I decided to make it so he only melees, unlike the large speaker man. It's probably for the better though, as we saw what happened before. In the series, the large cameraman has a baton which he uses to stun toilets, so I made it so he drops a stick when he dies, which is supposed to be a baton. The large cameraman also stuns low-level toilets when he hits them, which is supposed to act as the baton shocking them. Like usual, I gave the large cameraman a thumbs up animation, and this time there's absolutely no possible confusion because I made his arm bend. Overall, I don't like the large cameraman as much as the speaker men, so I'm gonna give him a 7 out of 10. Next, I'll make a TV man, and I'm gonna use an Enderman because the TV man teleports. First, we'll change the shape and size of his legs because they were a little big. And now let's color this in, and we'll also give him some shoes. Now let's add the top part of his legs like this, and now it's time to make his body. The TV man wears a large trench coat, so we're gonna add that over top as well. And now it's time to change the shape of these arms, and we'll also rotate it a bit like this. And now let's just give him some fingers like we've done for the other mobs. Okay, now that's looking pretty good. It's time to add his head. First, I'll make the black outlines that go around the TV screen, and then I'll add the bluish screen that the TV man has on the inside. And I think that's pretty good. Let's just add a few more details. First, let's add some buttons on the front of the coat like this, and we'll just make some parts a little bit darker like this as well. And now finally, we'll just add a little bit more texture over the top, and I think that looks good. Let's add him to the game. This is how the TV man looks in game. He's a lot taller than I thought he would be. Similar to the TV woman and the Titan TV man, I made it so the TV man flashes between nothing and one of the faces he does as well. In the actual series, the TV man is able to stun the toilets with his screen, so I gave the TV man a ranged attack which stuns low-level toilets just like the large cameraman does when he hits them. The attack itself doesn't do much damage, but if there are other alliance members around, it allows them to easily finish the toilets off. The TV man is also able to teleport when he gets low, just like the TV woman. And if you kill the TV man, he drops an ender pearl because he's an enderman and I just didn't change it. Overall, I don't think the TV man turned out that bad, but he's also not amazing, so because of that, I'm gonna give him an 8 out of 10. Subscribe if you want me to make more Skibidi mobs.